April 2021. They've just liberated us from lockdown. I'm going to meet the old boy down there. I slaved over making some homemade cream of peas soup, and he's bringing the bread, a roll or something. Anyway, look at the sunshine, just leaving sunny Basingstoke. It's sometime mid-April. Marvellous. Sure, we're all excited to be back on our boats again. There really can't be many nicer places to keep a boat than Bewley. I know there are plenty up in Scotland and various parts of the country, but this drive through the New Forest, the ancient village of Bewley is hereditary held lands for about 1,000 years or so. I believe that the Bewley is the only privately owned river in the whole of Europe. I may be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that's the case. All other rivers in the UK are owned by the Crown. What did you say? You woke up thinking about Andy?
I woke up thinking about you, Andy. So you get first mention. I woke up, looked out my windows, early morning for me this morning. I was up at 6 something, and it was the most fantastic blue sky, sunrise. I thought, this is the day for Andy.
Andy, when you're in Dave's early morning dreams, you want to start worrying, my friend.
You remember the story where my wife spent hours and we sourced material in America and special fabric. Dave's bought himself a couple of new cushions.
No, I'm talking about that.
Yeah, I know what you want to talk about. But he's very anxious that I introduce you to his cockpit cover. It's actually quite a remarkable piece of kit. And we'll show you how to take it down and put it up, but it's quite impressive. Mrs. Roberts is reportedly quite excited with it. I'm inside the warm, and we're going to show you how quick it is to dismantle. So flapping up the sides, both sides have got zips so that you can have them open or closed. Goes all the way back past the wheel. The only slight challenge is with Dave's boat, you'll remember the main sheet falls come along here, but he's devised a rather ingenious quick fit, which you'll see is where the possibility of Dave falling in and me getting points again is at its highest. So we're about 90 seconds, I would say, into the process. Corners are up, backs up. So zip along the existing spray hood. So it's really neat. They've stitched this zip onto the existing spray hood. So I would guess we're about... Well,
how am I doing, Ali Bland from Texo?
Don't encourage him, Ali. Give him a slapping. Tell him he's letting you down. We're 1.5 minutes, nearly 2 minutes into packing away. It's actually very speedy.
And then these things clip onto here, just to hold it in place. I'm going to lose these overboard.
At the outside, that's 4 minutes from start to ready to power up the engine. Well, we would have been if the old boy hadn't got his crab hands out. Well, this is like working with a handcuffed crab as your technician.
Yeah, Texo, honestly, Texo, thumbs up to you. They didn't, I paid for this, but their service was so outstanding.
He was surprised he'd paid for anything. Did you notice that? Honestly.
I've never got anything free. I never get anything free. Ali gave us a free bag.
Got a lovely bag. Really nice bag. Right. That's that off. Kettle's on.
What are you moaning about up there?
Honestly, your shackles don't work properly.
Look, he's persuaded me to use this stuff to scare birds away.
Well, it's worked, hasn't it?
Well, I've never had quite so much bird poo on my canvas as I've got at the moment.
Yeah, but tell them what it was really like the other day. Tell them the truth. Your wife was on her hands and knees scrubbing shit off your spray hood.
She was. Bless her heart. Right, let's get a cup of tea going, eh?
Yeah, tea's done.
Look. So clean it was. Look what he's done. One of the advantages of having this cockpit enclosure is that your cockpit stays immaculate. Look how shining it is. I buffed it, I polished it a few weeks ago. And look at
Tell them why there's a strong smell of diesel. Why
Yeah,
is
he's
there
changing
a
the
strong
subject.
smell of
Changing
diesel
the subject.
everywhere
Oh.
on this boat?
Oh, is that a subject change? Look, I cleaned all inside this, Dave. I cleaned all inside that glass. Look at it now.
I'll get a screwdriver later, I promise. Honestly, he didn't even say thank you for the cup of tea.
I better explain that I'm on a swinging mooring now.
Yeah, you better have.
So I've moved, I don't know, I said this, but I've moved from the marina to a swinging mooring upriver, just next to this. Come and knock on my door and say hello if you're passing. See what we're going to do then?
Well, he's keen to go to the end of Wootton Creek. I thought when he sent me the text last night he meant anchor outside. There's a lovely little anchorage just outside Wootton Creek by Core Abbey, Quar. But no, he's insistent.
I'll show you can see it on the map right here. This is where we're going.
Really? So I am actually about to go down below and double check his tidal calculations because I think the window's a wee bit tight. And
we'll have to feel our way in.
Now at low tide, Wootton Creek dries entirely between 1.9 and 1.1 metres. In all the years we've never actually been down here before. Normally we stop at Royal Victoria Yacht Club for lunch, right at the entrance, close to where the ferry moors. The channel down the river is narrow and it shallows very quickly if you dare to wander from it, but it is very clear where the channel goes, with many mooring boards marking the channel edges. You can get to the very end easily, where there's a nice pub that awaits you. We're going in at springs -1 and have 4.4 metres of tide at high water. Now with a 1.9 metre draft I will go aground until the water reaches 3.8 metres. So we shall enter just after that at around 12:40 on a rising tide, and that will give me 3 hours before I need to be out. We will leave it no more than 2 hours just to be safe.
He's got a treat for me, he said. I don't know what this treat is, I've no idea what it is. But what are you doing down there?
I'm trying to keep my balance. Every time I come to do a wee or put the kettle on, you tilt the boat. Ah. Honestly.
But you've got something special for me.
I do actually.
It's good to me. Starting to get a bit nervous.
Yeah, I think it's nervousness by association as well, because that red post right there is one you once aimed at in mistake and went aground. Do you remember?
Yeah, I did run aground here, I remember that.
So
but
why are you
this is not the
actually
right
nervous?
time to bring that up.
No, well I think it is a good time to bring it up.
Going aground, I'm about to go down the longest, shallowest channel ever.
Yeah.
We're going to have nothing under the keel. We'll have just a quick in and out before we get stranded for forever. It's going to be a lower tide tomorrow than today, so we've got every reason to be a bit nervous. I'm not normally nervous about running aground, but this one is slightly making me.
It's also a place where you've got a national award, isn't it?
Yeah, Bob on the Rocks.
Bob on the Rocks award. If you come in here any time, Wootton Creek Sailing Club, and you'll see the bent propeller shaft with a prop at the end. He currently holds that award. It's called the Bob on the Rocks award. You can guess why it's called Bob on the Rocks, can't you?
And here right up there. Harry's just left. So we normally go in there, and that dries, but we're going down there.
That really dries.
Dave's at the helm, so I'm particularly nervous.
What could possibly go wrong?
Don't you ground us. If you ground us, you know the points I'm going to get.
Yeah. It'll be your navigation equipment at fault, not me.
Right, as we round this corner, it turns green on the map. All the way down there we're going. Quite a flood.
Yeah.
So we'll have to be a bit careful that we don't get driven on too far. Nice houses, eh?
There's no flood here.
If we were in Cool Runnings and Dave was at the helm, I'd be wanting to run aground now. There's some fairly big boats down on these pontoons.
Yeah.
They obviously dry out.
Yeah.
So the channel is pretty clearly evident with buoys to port and starboard. You can see it going off down there. It's obvious as we came around those corners. How's helmsman?
I think remarkably competent is the only word really that springs to mind. Very relaxed, not at all worried about going aground in anybody else's boat.
1 metre under the keel. Very pleasant houses, look at that.
Oh, beautiful.
Bread's in the oven. Getting to the end, that's the main road down there, Dee.
Yeah, there's a few more big boats on the starboard.
Yeah. So we're puzzled by these fairly sizable yachts. It's all dries here, so these must go to ground, but they do not look like bilge keelers, do they?
No.
There's a nice pub at the end that Rachel and I have visited. Not from on board, but we cycled to it from Island Harbour Marina. I mean, that could be a bilge keeler, but that surely isn't over there, is it? Unless they've had them dredged out just there. Okay, we're going to anchor here somewhere.
Are we moving?
Hard astern. Helmsman just ran aground.
I barely noticed, did I? There.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. Ready? Fingers clear?
Yeah. This is going to be the nicest soup you've tasted, Dave, for some years.
I suspect it will be.
Made by my fair hands yesterday.
Yeah, hopefully they were washed. I was a bit dubious when you're cooking this stuff, but what can I say? Just didn't think of that.
Oh, Dave.
Yeah.
Fiona. I think it's Fiona in America, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sorry, Fiona, I'm not wearing the cap that you sent us.
Oh, he's forever going on. Look, it's a
Fiona.
summer cap and it's cool as Fiona. I'm not going to give it to him in the winter.
Fiona, I've seen a picture of this cap that you've sent us, one each. I've seen a photograph of it, but I have not seen
on
it.
and on and on.
And you sent us a drink cooler.
Cooler, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that either. I'm sure it's nice. I'm sure it's nice, but I can't be absolutely sure. But thank you anyway. I'll let you know when I do get it. Keep in touch.
Basically, you got told off.
We've just been
didn't
told
you?
off. Yeah.
No, it wasn't we. It was you.
Well, we both decided where to anchor, and we shouldn't have anchored here. So I don't know who he was. The chap very nice chap in a rowing boat came out. Excuse me, you can't anchor in the middle of the fairway. Well, we kind of knew we were in the middle of the fairway, but there's nothing down here. Nobody's coming out, in or out. So we're going to be fine for half an hour, and he accepted that we would be fine for a lunch stop. Wouldn't hurt anybody. But he did suggest where we could go, and we'll point that out on the way back. Yeah.
Good point. Yeah, I didn't get involved in this altercation. I tend to get a bit cross. Dave's much more amenable to people doing these jobs.
I'm a patient man. I'm a gracious man. And you?
Well, I just don't like it. It's unnecessary, isn't it? But I guess if I lived here, I had a boat here, I'd probably have a rowing boat and come and shout at people as well.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I don't think you would, but there you go. By the way, it didn't ruin the day because this food has made up for it. What do you think?
Pea soup, homemade, slaved over a hot stove he did last night apparently. Either that or Rachel made it and he's not letting on, but
no, it's me.
It is delicious.
Good to hear you say that.
Yeah. Cheese toasty would go with this, wouldn't it? Don't you think? Nice hot cheese toasty.
Well, I think that's well worth a stop, Skip.
Yeah. Lovely new environment.
Definitely don't let the chart put you off. Simple as you like, that channel.
Poured up.
New cushions, everybody. Very pleased with those. Being well and truly tested over there.
Yeah.
He's taking his shoes off, which is good to know.
Now, you mock my sartorial contributions to this programme, but this is another one.
No, please.
It's really important. So you've got an inner which gives you the static to create the heat. It's a particular brand. I know we're not sponsored on this programme, but we should just, called thermals. And then these big outers that my daughter bought me, just riding boots or walking boot socks. But you need the two together. And that keeps your tootsies nice and warm. So, I did make the mistake of only bringing one hanky today, folks. That was a serious mistake.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Listen again. Let's say that again.
I made the mistake of only bringing one hanky today because you get wet on this boat and dirty. You really need a spare.
So why do you need two hankies, and where do you put them? What's that all about?
One in my pocket and one in my coat, so that when you're taking your coat on and off. Hey, look how dirty my boots got.
Unbelievable.
Look at them. They were clean.
Unbelievable. That's what you can do with these boots. That's where they belong. Don't tell Rachel, but I've already trodden on it and I've left a footprint. Perfect footprint. She's not going to be happy about that, Dave.
No.
I said I'd keep these clean today. Look, there's 2 feet.
Don't you go blaming me either, because I've been fastidious.
Let's just check the bottom of your soles. Is it you? So we've just put the 2, what are they called? Scrubbing grids.
Berths.
Scrubbing berths at Buckler's Hard.
Yeah.
We're both going to dry out on May the 11th, Tuesday, May the 11th. Now we mention this.
We do.
For what reason, Dee?
Well, just because we don't want to be selfish and keep the whole experience to ourselves, and we wondered if any of you are passing with beer round about 11:30 on May the 11th. Easy to remember, 11 beers, 11 o'clock, 11th of May.
Well, sausage rolls. We welcome a sausage roll on the 11th.
Are there any budding galley slaves out there that would like to... Are there any budding galley slaves on our channel who would like to come and show us how to cook.
Cook a barbecue for us.
They could cook a barbecue ashore. There is a barbecue there.
Now we're getting there.
We could
now
have
we're
a
getting
party.
there.
We could actually have a party while we're drying out.
And that's more people around to heave your boat up when it falls over.
No chance. Right.
So put that in the diary, 12th of May.
11th.
Bring a beer.
11th.
11th of May, 11th of May. Tuesday. All day on the scrubbing grids, bucklers hard. Here's the logic. Sound me out.
Yeah.
Right, this is for doing this thing.
This thing.
This cockpit enclosure.
Yeah.
This new fancy cockpit enclosure is for this reason.
Yeah.
In the UK, you'd use this if it's too cold,
Right.
if it's too wet,
Yeah.
or if it's too hot and sunny beating down on you. Which is just about every day, isn't it?
If you're an old person, yeah.
That's true though, isn't it?
Well, it is true.
So I mean, you can roll these sides up and you can roll the back up, so you can just have it as a bimini at the top.
Yeah.
And or you can put one side down, two sides up, keep the wind off of you.
Yeah.
We should have done it years ago, Rachel and I.
Yeah.
Rachel loves it. She's gonna come on the boat more often. She told me that.
Yeah, I'm definitely not doing it on mine then.
And
Yeah.
you can polish all of this, and as long as your mates don't come spilling tea and coffee
it doesn't
everywhere,
get dirty or algae.
it doesn't get filthy.
Texo did a brilliant job. They sent a chap down with a clever laser camera thingy, presented me with a load of 3D images to approve. They made up the cockpit enclosure. It fitted like a glove the first time. Really good service, great communication, and everything was ahead of the promised schedule. So thanks very much to John and Ali Bland for providing such great service.
Good logic?
Well, it's good logic, but I've been struggling with this thought all day.
Yeah.
And the thought is, why does it feel like we're increasingly moving towards camping rather than sailing? And isn't it like the difference between a trailer tent and a caravan? Isn't there something a bit halfway house about this? It feels like a nod to old age and English weather, but not really being confident enough to go the whole hog.
And well, put it this way.
No, you were going to buy a Nauticat with a full wheelhouse, weren't you? That's what
I
you were
was
going
thinking
to buy.
of it.
Yeah, you weren't just thinking about it, you went looking for them. I think you even had a test sail in one, or a test visit.
You get used to your own boat, you know it, don't you?
Well, you do, yeah.
But you've quite enjoyed... Jill likes coming on cool runnings more now you're on the Bewley.
She does.
And it's quite good when your other half enjoys
Is
coming
it?
down. And this is what...
Okay.
Oh,
What about those solo
sorry
days?
if you're watching this, Jill.
They like her on camera, though. They like her in the office, asking you questions on the phone.
That was terrible what you did
that
to
was
me
good.
that day.
I was proud of her. Good girl,
Terrible.
Jill, if you're watching this.
Yeah.
No, it's very nice, actually. And it's got quite a lot of room. Look, that was the other thing that surprised me. I mean, I'm not
Plenty of
tall,
standing
5'8",
room.
but there's plenty of headroom there.